A trip to Calaveras country is a journey of adventure. That journey is often into the past, a place where colorful history comes to life. Angels Camp is a gold rush pioneer town with a lot of exciting things happening in this new century. It is quickly becoming the base camp for Sierra adventures in Calaveras country. The heart and soul of Angels Camp has to be its museum, where on the same day you can find bullfrogs a-jumpin', President Lincoln a-stumpin', Mark Twain oratatin', and outlaw Black Bart just plain irritating. You can see gold panners, blacksmithers, spinners, and quilt stitchers, and old-timey music makers.
Yo no soy americano, pero comprendo el inglés. Yo aprendí de mi hermano, derecho y al revés. Y cualquier americano lo hago temblar a mis pies.
The museum's special annual Gold Rush Days is on the first Saturday in May. We are going to ask Bob Rogers, the museum administrator, about admission.
And you know what? All of this, all the food, all the activities, the music, and this, how much are you charging for this?
The event is free admission.
Oh, wait, use free.
Free.
Free, absolutely. They can come in for free.
Free.
Wow.
Okay, Baby Duck says, I like 3 and I like 7. Like 4. That makes 7. You can have any number of these that add up to 7. So you can do the 1 and the 6, the 2 and the 5, 3 and 4, or 1.
The Angels Camp Museum has undergone many improvements in recent years and has a lot to offer its visitors. The museum's 3-acre grounds are directly on top of a major gold vein and huge mine shafts from the Gold Rush era. In addition to the front museum building, there are 2 10,000 square foot buildings housing one of the finest collections of carriages, wagons, buggies, and Gold Rush mining equipment in California. The museum collection is viewable year-round. At the Gold Rush Days event, there are special opportunities not to be missed. A lunch of wholesome miner stew. Mark Twain and other impersonators meet the public and pose for pictures. Blacksmiths demonstrate their craft. spinners, quilters, and basket weavers share their techniques. Families enjoy practicing their gold panning skills. And it turns out the gold pan is good for something more than just panning for gold. "2010 was the 100th year anniversary of the death of Mark Twain and the 175th anniversary of his birth. The same year saw the unveiling of the new Mark Twain exhibit at Angels Camp Museum. The exhibit was created by college professor Gregg Camfield, his students, and museum volunteers. I got to meet with Professor Camfield to talk for a few minutes about this wonderful exhibit.
Tell us a little bit about what you put together here. What are we going to see in this exhibit?
Well, this exhibit gives something of an overview of Mark Twain's life up to this point, and then how he redrafted the Jumping Frog story. Because what we're really looking at here is a very American story. It's a story of a person struggling to make it, and having failed repeatedly, and finally finding his calling, his profession. And the story is partly a story of that. So what we've done is we've tried to show that background, how he came from a family that had visions of gentility, pretensions of gentility, but was actually destitute, and how money was important to him. I mean, to what American, isn't it?
He got to that gentility stage, as I recall.
He did, but not here.
Not here.
And it was that struggle back and forth between boom and bust. I mean, he was broke and rich over and over in his life. So that informs his career, and up to this point, where he was able to make that transition to fame, is crucial to who Mark Twain was.
And what are we going to see in the future here?
Well, we hope to see all sorts of interesting things. Among the exhibits here are the different versions of the Jumping Frog, and right now you have to flip through curatorial notebooks. We hope to have computer monitors with hypertext displays, so you can mouse over and see all the changes he made.
Higher tech, huh?
Yeah, we'd like to. We hope to have little audio tours using MP3 players of much of the museum, looking at, as I mentioned before, fashion, music, you name it.
Yeah, you were saying earlier that he had comments on just about all facets of society, and it makes it easy for him to use things he said to actually provide a guided tour through the entire museum on all the different things.
Exactly, he's a good docent.
And that would be very fun, I would think.
It would. And one of the things one of my student groups got interested in was the music of the period, and they found all sorts of archives of period music, and we're trying to collect that. Our hope is that we can get some of the local bands and singing groups to actually make recordings of that music, so we can have a soundtrack, if you will, for the exhibit too.
That'd be great.
It would be fun, and I think it's one of the other things about it is it will allow this community to keep participating in making and remaking its own history.
Well, you've done a wonderful job. It's visually stunning. It's really an attractive exhibit. And how long have you been working on this?
The visually attractive part is not me. I wrote the text, but they have a wonderful art team here, and production team. I mean, Linda Goff is the one who designed it, but we have volunteers making the cabinets. And the cabinetry here is made by a gentleman who's retired now. And
so some local folks.
Yeah, this is his hobby, essentially. Wow. So this is a contribution really out of the heart. It's hard to imagine how they could have done this if they had to pay for everything.
Well, I know they have a very little budget here.
Very little budget.
But I think
they've done some wonderful work.
I think they have, and I doubt they could have done it like this without you. So I really appreciate your contribution to the community and to Calaveras. And thanks for speaking with us.
My pleasure.